I think we might be live. It says
All
it's still
right.
setting up, but it always tells me that when we're actually live. So, hello, everyone. Hi, Mimi. It's so nice to see you. I
Hey,
think
Lynn. So happy to see you.
it says it's still hang on. Setting up, but it always tells me that
I,
when we're actually live. So, hello,
oh,
everyone. That means I have to mute. There we go.
okay.
That was a very rookie move, by the way. But my head is in a million places. So what are you going to do? So it's been a while since we chatted.
It has been. It sounds like you're running a business with so many things happening and
You
voices
know,
in the background. Is that your brain or was that
it feels sometimes like it's the other voice inside my head telling me, don't do that, or what are you thinking? But no, it's been definitely crazy. Our business has picked up, which is good, but then the work is picked up. You know what I mean? It's like,
right?
and you don't really have any extra people to do it. So it ends up just being me trying to scramble and get everything done.
Well,
And
you're
I know you
doing
can
it.
relate because you're doing a lot
Absolutely.
too.
Exactly.
So, okay, for anyone listening who doesn't know Mimi, she has an amazing wellness brand called Maison Palo Santo. I'm probably not pronouncing it quite correctly, but it's based on the Palo Santo tree.
Exactly.
Um, and I think she can tell you a little bit more about it, but she sent me one of the smudge sticks way back when, and I was like loving it. I've I've been using that. And she can personalize them for you too, which is even cooler.
Absolutely. Yeah, thanks for that. That's actually one of the things that we do the most of, our mindful mementos. So Maison Palo Santo translates to the House of Holy Wood. You did really well. Everything that we do in our sensory wellness house of rituals is centered around the Palo Santo tree, which grows in Ecuador and other countries in South America. All of our product is sourced from Ecuador, close to our own home. So we are our own direct source of this beautiful botanical treasure, this natural material that we export to United States to our warehouse in Austin, Texas, where we develop and manufacture our line of aromatherapy products. So we have candles, our signature Palo Santo spray, our smudging sticks, our essential oil, and everything is paired with guided meditation. So it's an entire self-care bundle that's very intentional. The experience that my greatest wish for people to have with the brand is when they receive their box or they buy it in a store, or if it gets shipped directly to their home straight from the forest, they can, feel that texture in the package. They open, they smell, they can scan the code and listen to meditation music that we compose with original music as well. So it's very creative, very thought provoking, and hopefully that will take them to a mindful moment in their own life. Or it could just be real simple. They just need to instantly refresh their energy with the power of scent. So yeah, we've been really busy building this
Yeah,
ecosystem, which started as just a product, one candle.
I have so many questions. So many questions. Okay, let's start with just some basic, like, I'm just curious, how are you dealing with Austin? Are you in Ecuador? Was that it?
Yeah, so we live between Ecuador and Austin. So we have our empresa, we have our setup in Ecuador, and we have our facility here in Austin, Texas, which actually is a shared space with a local yoga studio. So
Ah,
that
cool.
makes it such an even better energy for our
Yeah,
products and for just for all of the energies and the ambiance of where the product is being packaged, right? There's like gongs and sound
that's
bowls,
super
and
cool.
we do our own events there as well. So what we do is we travel back and forth. We're
Okay.
usually there, 3 to 4 months out of the year, spaced out
Oh,
between a couple
that's
of
a
weeks
lot.
here, a month
Yeah.
here. Hopefully that number will go more to like half and half. That's always my goal. But yeah, that's something that requires a little bit more.
Fascinating. I mean, I do a little bit of that too, but not for the reasons you're doing it, but I go back and forth between Italy and California, and it's awesome. But it's always trying to figure out how to maximize the time in each.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know,
You
so
always
when
feel like
I'm,
you're getting ready or on like you
yeah,
always feel like you're getting ready.
yes.
So,
And then I throw in some trips to my manufacturer and my fulfillment team in Chicago. And then yeah, it's like when I'm there, I'm just like a crunch time because I know I'm not going to be back for 6 months.
right. And you
And
have to
then you probably
prepare.
do the same, right? Yeah, you got to like, I always have a suitcase going so I can throw stuff in for my next trip because otherwise I'll
Oh,
forget.
always. I just have things. I feel like I just live how I travel because
Yeah.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
minimalist as it is these days. So I've just if
I
it
mean,
doesn't have
that's
anything
good.
to do with the business or the Palo Santo or the whatever bare necessities I need, and so, I don't travel with too much other than always the requests of things to bring for
Yeah.
my family in Ecuador. So that's interesting.
Yeah. I'm always bringing back pasta, Parmesan,
Exactly.
pistachio spread, things
Oh,
like that.
the best food. My
I
gosh.
know it is
I
pretty insane.
know.
All right. So, but
Yeah.
back to the
Back.
business. Okay. So now my real questions start. Now that we got that out of the way, I'm really interested in how you figured out to pivot from just a product to this bigger wellness platform, and then how do you go about finding people who can help you do it? Because that's a very different business. That's like a service industry business.
Well, it's interesting because, I just finished a branding course with the Mr. Perlman, who was one of the founders of Zumba. And
Ah, okay.
and as I was going through this course, I realized how much of this I had just done very intuitively without knowing anything about business at all, but just following my passion of being a people person. Before Maison Palo Santo, I worked in hospitality and I worked in fine dining
Ah,
restaurants in New York.
okay.
And I was a maitre d' of a restaurant on the Upper East Side, and we worked in two Michelin star restaurants for many, many years. So I have this very innate
Yeah.
gift
It was
with.
like in your DNA
Right. It's
practically. I
in
mean,
my DNA to host people and to communicate and to make people have a good time. When I was learning
yeah,
about e-commerce, when I first launched the product, e-commerce is awesome. It was very heady for me to understand how to organize storefronts. And, at the time, it's not like how it was now. Like you actually had to know how to do things and get coders and website
yeah,
developers, and it was very new. And but there was something missing inside me. I knew that the story, I mean, the reason why we created the candle was out of sheer, like a real want, a need for freedom, right? To be the master of my own destiny, to create an impact beyond, the dining room that I was spending my life in, although beautiful and magnificent and, you know, having a ripple effect of joy in people's life in its own way. I was feeling like I wanted something more. And so when we created the candle and we created our Buy a Candle, Plant a Tree program, which supports our reforestation initiatives in Ecuador through our partners, I never knew that it would be so well received as the one and only pure Palo Santo candle on the market. Because what I realized going
huh,
into this is that there's, large companies, big box stores that have had Palo Santo candles in the past, and they have nothing to do with the scent of Palo Santo. They just use it as the name, right? There's like, I don't know what it is
right.
used, but it's definitely not
Yeah.
that, right? So when I created the candle and I was delivering the authentic, real aroma of Palo Santo and its healing benefits and a super beautiful, easy way to use, and pairing it with a meditation, it had already begun as an experience. So I
Mm,
felt very lucky that I had created that from the beginning.
yeah.
But from there, that just kind of amplified. So I'm also a yoga teacher, I'm a breathwork instructor, teacher, and trainer. And through that, I began using my own products as my wellness tools in my events and my classes and sharing them with the students and with the community. So the two kind of began to interweave together very organically. And when I
Yeah.
made my way down to Austin right at the beginning of COVID, which was like, man, I struck a real lucky match with that because I left Manhattan, came to Austin through a whole series of universal events. that was kind of out of my control. And it was difficult for me to adjust in the beginning to Austin from New York. And then I began creating community in the yoga world, and people were so interested about the products and where they came from and the uses and benefits. And I began to tell the story of Palo Santo. And I began this journey of sharing it with people through experiences and really bringing, I mean,
And
I used to set up whole rooms of candles and show them about our indigenous culture, the Manteña people, and then do a yoga flow or do a meditation. And so it's
give
just
me a
kind of
sense of
developed.
like progression of time. Was this over
Sure.
months, years,
No, this
weeks?
is over years. We made the
Okay.
first candle. We launched our first candle online for, like for sale online. We were selling in markets in New York and
Yeah.
things like that for a while, but online available for sale to the public in 2018. And in between 2018 and 2021, I was on this personal journey of a bridge from the only thing I knew, which was working in restaurants, hospitality, into this entrepreneurial world, getting a business coach and really stepping my toes into waters that I had no idea about. And now
Yeah.
I realize, at the time I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I know anything about business. And I didn't. I taught myself through experience. But what I did know is that I love to see people
Mm,
enjoy the product and tell them about it. So in
yeah.
2021, we went back up north. We went back home. Well, that's now Austin is also home, but we went back up to New York. And on my drive, because we had to lease a car, and it was like during that chip shortage, that weird chip shortage, there was like one
Oh,
car in the lot. They're like, oh, it's
yeah.
yours. I was like, okay, great. I guess I'll take that one. Right. So
Yeah.
we're driving in the car, and I told my husband, I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to look online and I'm going to find the people's names that are at some yoga studios, and we're going to stop along the way and we're going to engrave their names on Palo Santo sticks in the hotel room. And so we
Brilliant.
got a soldering iron, like a little soldering gun. We had it Amazoned to a hotel room in New Orleans. I wrote down the names of the people teaching in a couple of yoga studios, a
Yep.
couple of vegan restaurants, because I had to include my restaurant people, of course. We started dropping them off place by place. People were crying. They were so happy. They said, nobody has done anything so beautiful, so nice
Oh my
for
God.
me. And then I was like, and then one woman, I'll never forget it. She said to me, thank you so much, but what is it? And I said, whoa. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever saw the master class with Kris Jenner when she talks about the white space. And I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
wait a minute. I said, people don't know what this is, and I have it, and I have the story, and I have everything to show them and to teach them. So I created the Palo Santo Sacred Journey, which has now evolved in 2021, which has now evolved into the Palo Santo Experience, which is now something that I actually train and certify my ambassadors and other product and experience partners in how to facilitate themselves for the purpose of sharing the products with their audience, whether they have a service-based business like Reiki or massage,
Mm.
or they're a freelance yoga retreat leader, or if they're a boutique or shop owner. So it's been this beautiful evolution from 2021 to now. Where are we? It's 2026. I don't even
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
So it's
planning
like,
2027. So
no, but this is really helpful for people to understand because a lot of times people think that it's got to happen very fast. Like you have to have your business take off or it's going to die. And I've been doing it for since 2000.
right,
You've been doing it since 2001. And, we're not big businesses, but we're making progress and we're figuring things out and we're evolving. And I think the key that you're doing, and I didn't do something as drastic as your pivot, but I also learned to like introduce things like my little scalp scrubbers,
right,
things beyond my formulas that would give people more of a holistic experience. And I think that's really important to get to figure those things out and then to go where the universe is telling you to go, because I have so many founders, and we work with a lot of founders, and many of them too, who
yeah,
are like, my product is the best. And they can't get out of their own way. Do
right.
you know what I mean?
Well,
They're so fixated on the product.
my very first business coach, I always shout him out, Dr. Michael Hartley. He is an amazing person, and I remember the first conversation we ever had. He said, Mimi, do not be in love with your product. It is not
Right.
about you, it's about what's in it for them. And I think about it every day. And now Maison Palo Santo, we are no longer
Yeah.
we are no longer just a product or an experience. Now, building a brand is an entire different ball game where everything
Yeah.
that you do, whether it's an event, a collaboration, a product launch, a pop-up, whatever it is, if it's not in 100% alignment with the ethos of what your brand represents, which is not a physical product, but an emotion, an energy, an invisible knowing of the
Yeah.
people that are using it, then it actually has made it a bit easier for me to organize my wants, desires, and to-do lists based on that living organism. It's no longer about me and what I want. It's
Yeah.
about what is important for Maison Palo Santo and how do things
That's
fit into
amazing.
that. So yeah, and we have such
It's
a great
like it
variety of
takes on a
customers.
life of its own, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, it's a whole, AI was helping me organize things and they called it the Maison Palo Santo universe. And I was like, okay, I'm
Yeah.
not there yet. Like that's
But
my editorial
but you kind of
Bible,
are.
but it's the
You're building
ecosystem.
it.
What,
Yeah.
what I'm most excited about is our ambassador community because I created an ambassador community as the lead ambassador that have been traveling around. So I go on these Palo Santo experience tours. I have one coming up in
Mm.
California that I told you about that I get to collaborate with venues and studios, wellness centers, and private boutiques or other ambassadors that are selling the products at their locations, their venues. I come. They put together the event with me. We host the event. We share all the revenue 50-50. They get a wholesale order that day at a great price and they get to continue carrying the products. It increases and boosts their sales, as you know, when the founder is there to
Yeah.
explain about the product. Then the people who are selling it for you when you're not around are more educated, they're more passionate about it. So we do these tours. And I know the reason why I set this up was if it wasn't for my products, I would never be able to travel around the country
Mm.
promoting my event without the product sales. Because if I show up and I sell, let's say 10, 12, 25 tickets to something at a reasonable rate, then you have a little pop up with your products and you can make an additional $100, like additional couple $100. Hello, darling. And yes, so it's a formula that works. We are our own event. So we are a full service thing that people can, ask us to come and we can provide the whole thing. And then the last thing I'll tell you about, which is, I don't know if you know that we're doing, but we've been doing a lot of corporate engagements as far as live laser engraving
Ooh,
stations.
that's a good
So
idea.
because now
Yeah.
mindfulness is everywhere. There's a lot of like
Yeah.
permanent jewelry setups or perfume
And
bars.
personalization too. People want
Yeah.
to, yeah.
Customization. I read a really
Yeah.
interesting article about how culture is the new amenity and about how, these in-person events and analog is the new luxury where people are really going from behind the screen and back out into community. So I'm very excited about the future. As you mentioned, the bigger the project, the more it costs. So I do feel so if you're listening to this and you're building a business, just know that, it's like a machine that needs to be fed constantly
All
with
the time,
energy,
constantly.
devotion, ad spend, whatever it is. But if you can be creative and think about what you can do as a founder, sometimes things are more attainable than we think. Because we think we have to do something like if it's not like, oh, if I don't have $15,000 a month for Facebook ads and I'm never going to get money. Well, maybe if you get 15 of your best people together in one room and tell them about your stuff, you might have a really better return on your investment than, because now you have 15 people that you connected to. And, the stats on, gaining those leads on Google with an ad can be quite costly per person. So you might be actually getting paid to do marketing. So, hosting little events around your products is something that I'm enjoying coaching my ambassadors on now with all the knowledge that I've gained over the past couple of years, just
Yeah.
doing it myself.
That's amazing. Okay, so so where to start? So many people would love to basically learn from your model, which is pretty interesting and a little different than I think a lot of founders approach business because they're, like I said, fixated on their product. What are some tools or tips and tricks to set up an ambassador program for anyone? Because there are lots of ways to do it, and there are programs out there that are more plug and play.
Yeah.
And then some people have Excel spreadsheets, and they just do outreach. Like, how do you do it?
So basically, I, do a couple of different reach outs, right? So always start with people I know. I've curated a group. We have about 45 ambassadors now, curated a group of people that I feel are in real alignment with what Maison Palo Santo has represented. I really wanted a strong foundation for other newer ambassadors that are coming in. I created a Mighty Networks, which is just a platform like Circle or Kajabi or something like that. You can use whatever one is that
Yeah,
feels good to you. But I have a private ambassador community on Mighty Networks where once this is a paid program, and I just want to be very clear that it's not, whenever we want to do things, when we make an investment, we show up and we do them. I've had an
yeah,
affiliate program running in the background. I mean, I don't know how to tell you how many affiliates I've had that,
yeah,
you give the link, you do the training, you create assets for them, and nothing ever happens because there's
yeah,
no skin in the game kind of on both ends, right? I don't want to, it's not an afterthought. It's more of, okay, you are interested in selling these products to your channels or bringing back the true art of hospitality and wellness.
mm,
And that's my favorite part because I do feel that sometimes in the wellness world, and this is changing with the $1 trillion industry that luxury wellness travel is becoming, right? People care about cold plunge and sauna sometimes now, even over like what restaurant there is. And, now with less alcohol on the table and more wellness
yeah,
services instead, it's a really interesting time for this too. So I've been highly motivated on understanding what the trends are in that industry. Um, but it's really just about people who are hosting their own events or would like to use the products by gifting them or incorporating them in their bundles. So for example, imagine you are a event planner or a retreat leader and you're
mm,
going around in LA or different places, whatever town you live in, and you get to walk in and you have a custom Palo Santo stick with your business name on it with a beautiful candle that you can say, hey, my name is Lynn. I have this beautiful hair company, this hair care product line. I want to come in and do an activation. Here's my card. I'm going to leave this little gift for the hotel for the front desk. Burn it, enjoy it. There's so many different ideas and opportunities to use the products because Palo Santo represents transformation, new beginnings. It's a symbol of
yeah,
peace and clarity, and it has a beautiful aroma. So there's so many different ways that people can use it. But so far, my best ambassadors have been people who are hosting their own events. So they buy a box of products, which is 18
yeah,
products. They get 6 free Palo Santo sticks, which are great for branding or gifting. Then, when they receive their box, they get to come into the Mighty Networks where they'll receive a video training. They take a small assessment. They get to post in the group about who they are, where they are, what magic they're bringing to this world. Another great way to meet other people around the country that are doing different things to learn from. And then they get a 45-minute business building strategy session with me where we get to go over their event, their business. I get to give them some like hot seat coaching
great.
on like what I think they can do to incorporate the Palo Santo. And something that really interesting that's come out of that is that there's a lot of practitioners and service providers that are adding the Palo Santo experience to their little menu of services as a 15-minute add-on, which links into
Oh,
a product
smart.
sale at checkout time. So
Love
it's a
that.
very unique individual circle that I am at the moment organizing better systems to automate a little bit more, to standardize a little bit more, to make people successful. And yeah, so learning a lot about how to communicate within the community too, and really provide value. Because as you know, there's so many groups, and we have so many WhatsApp
Yeah,
groups and collectives and calls and
yeah,
meetings. So it's like, what kind of value am I really bringing on, like into the ecosystem for the ambassadors? And this is the big learning for me, right? This is my opportunity to move out from the business, hiding behind the logo, and then moving into my thought leader role as
Mhm.
the lead ambassador that uses Maison Palo Santo as my number one tool for all of my activations and
God, I love
experiences. So,
that. And then also I'm just thinking of all the content opportunities you have when you're doing those kinds of events. I mean, it's endless. It solves so many problems.
yeah, that's why I'm also like, oh my God, it's
Yeah.
endless.
Yeah.
It's
But that's because honestly, it's a small business. Content is a
right,
nightmare. You're
right,
always trying to fill that whatever you want to call it, like that beast, the content
right,
beast.
right,
So yeah, if you could do something where you're creating experiences, you're adding value, you're educating, you're doing education, you've got ambassadors, they're using the products, you're creating, I mean, it's like win, 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 win.
right,
So that's really, that's very interesting. The challenging part of doing that is there's only one of you.
right.
So, because I did that a while back, we were doing some meetups and stuff, and I just got exhausted
Yeah.
because it was like, I'm the one having to go do all that. And so honestly, I stopped because I was like, I can't do it. So how do you keep yourself kind of your energy level up to be able to do all that?
Well, I'll tell you, it's my passion to do the Palo Santo experience. I absolutely love it. It's an expression of my creativity, which is a combination of meditation, poetry, music, these deep visualizations and these journeys that we go on as this, like these little energetic vessels, and it fills me up and reminds me of my purpose. So, every day I wake up passionate about doing it. I know the day that I don't, it'll be time to do something different. And that's why I'm training other people in the ecosystem to take over,
Right.
because what my goal would be after this process, whatever the next step is, would be to write about what I did to inspire
Yeah.
other people to live their dreams, because that's why I did this. I did this to break cycles of in my family. I did this to create financial freedom for everybody around me and to give a voice to the people that sometimes they don't have one. And it's my gift to speak and to present and to share that knowledge. But I also am like, okay, what is be, I'm a manifesting generator, triple Gemini. So I'm like, okay, what's next? It's like, girl, can you stay here for a minute? Because this is
Yeah.
good. And from a business standpoint too, I feel like a lot of us tap into what's working. Look at your numbers, look at the things that are working. People don't know,
Right.
and
And
this
and and
goes
chase
for
that.
me.
Don't keep trying to hit your head against the Facebook ads
Right.
if they're not working.
Exactly. Like find
Yeah.
the thing that worked and just like triple down on that thing and really be
Yes.
focused on it, which is something that I'm working on now. So if anybody has any tips on that, leave them on this, leave them in the comments of this video, because I'm always
Seriously.
looking for help in that
Yeah,
department.
no, that is, and it's getting good help. I mean, that's the biggest challenge I've found when you're bringing in, whether it's salespeople, ambassadors, whatever, is that this is going to sound harsh, but 90+% of the people are not that invested, or they peel off, or they're doing it to part-time fill a void, and then a month later so you've invested all this time training them,
Right.
and then they're just not that engaged. And so that's been one of my challenges. It's like, how do you actually get people that, they're really into it?
It's
Maybe
really,
it's easier for maybe yours because yours has a bit more of a wellness and spiritual kind of angle. I mean, mine is hair care, it's like,
I don't know, Lynn, the spiritual
no.
community, they get called, there's a lot of language like, oh, I'm here today, but I got called to New Mexico. And it's like,
Oh,
no,
oh.
well, I'm going to call you back in to
Yeah,
here to
exactly.
Austin
I'm
at the
gonna
warehouse,
actually call you, not from, yeah.
not from the planetary.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. I also, and I'll just share this with you, I don't know if anybody can relate to this, is that I enjoy packaging products because in business, we're never finished. I don't know about you, but whether you're organizing email marketing strategy or your CRM or your
Oh, yeah,
contacts
no,
or your
never
events or
done.
your calls, it's never ending. There's never like,
Yeah,
okay, I'm done. So deep down, subconsciously, psychologically, when I have a couple orders and I'm doing them and I'm packaging them and then I'm seeing the boxes finish and I'm like, okay, I'm good. I did something and I feel good. And I'm always reminded, my partner always tells me, it's like, if I see you in that warehouse doing that, you cannot, I no longer actually have the time, which is a great place to be,
yeah.
but also, I don't know, there's like a little bit of a sadness to it as well, right? Like,
Yeah, but you have
yeah,
to evolve with the business.
of course.
That's part of it. And that's
Yeah.
hard. It's a lot of it, a lot of founders can't. They can't figure it out because
Oh,
they get
right.
stuck in doing a certain thing and the business doesn't need that so much and they're moving on. And so
Well,
it
creating
sounds like,
systems for everything you do is so
yeah,
like if you're starting out, man, start now. I wish I would have created systems with the shipping and everything when I had a lot more
oh,
time,
I know.
creating, I've created all these training manuals now with pictures and images so that way every time, because like you mentioned, people come in and out, especially, shipping opportunities and these
Yeah.
type of positions. It's pretty normal for people to float in and out and so just, okay, how can I recreate this so it's not like starting from the beginning every time they
Yeah,
need?
no, that's
So,
amazing.
yeah,
Wow. Well, this has been fascinating. And I can't believe we've been talking for like a
I
half
know.
an
Thank
hour.
I could talk all day
Uh,
about Palo
I
Santo. It's like,
know
oh,
that's the thing. I'm like, oh my God, there's so much
yeah.
to cover.
I know.
Okay. And then I just had a curiosity question. Did you see an interest in Palo Santo go up after Post Malone had it mentioned in one of his songs?
No, but he should definitely be one of my product
You
partners.
need,
So
yes. So we're going to put that, we're going to manifest
yeah,
that energy out
yes,
there, right?
yes. So
We need
everybody
Post
DM
Malone.
Post Malone's team or email
Yes,
them, do some shout outs on TikTok and tag Maison Palo Santo so we can
that
get
would be awesome.
the Palo
Well,
Santo to the right
listen,
place.
thank you for joining, and I love hearing how your business has progressed. It's kudos to you. It's really inspiring how you've managed to really elevate the business, find new ways to connect with people, clone yourself. I don't know, you've done it all. So
Thanks, Lynn. Thanks for being a part of it. You've always been a
yeah.
big support and a big educator in my world.
Well,
So I
look,
appreciate
I
it.
love the community, and that's what it's all about. So, if anyone has any questions, I know Mimi will love to get comments. So just drop them in the comments. Where can people find you?
On our website, which is maisonpalosanto.com, I can drop that in the comments as well. And if you'd like to take 20% off of your order from the website, you can go do so with our code MPS20.
MPS20. I will remember that.
Mhm.
And then you're also at Remedies Herb Shop in Brooklyn. So if
Yes.
anybody is in Carroll Gardens,
Mhm.
swing by. That's a great shop. You can pick up some tea. You can pick up some Palo Santo. You can pick up some Masami. What
Yes,
more do you need?
absolutely. Everything you need. You look good,
Everything you
feel
need.
good, smell good.
Yeah. So, all
Recipe
right.
for
Well,
well-being.
exactly. Well, listen, great chatting, and we will talk again.
Okay, thanks,
Hopefully
Lynn.
not, well, it won't take so many months, but we'll do another one in a couple months and catch
Awesome.
up on what's happened since then. All right. See you later.